Deep Dive with David Stendhal, where we trade without ego, no emotion, no greed, and no opinion. Before we begin tonight's video blog, please read over our trading disclaimer and remember to trade smart and accept the reality that trading futures is risky. This presentation does not provide buy-sell recommendations, and our information is strictly provided for educational purposes only. As always, trade at your own risk and analysis. Hey, it's David Stendhal with tonight's Deep Dive. It is May 2nd, 2018, and this evening I'm going to be talking about natural gas with the ETF, and there's lots of them, but the ETF being UNG. Nothing has popped up here on any of the pro alerts. Most of the action, for the most part, is going to be seen here when we're looking at a difference of opinion when it comes to the trend, where we have the short and intermediate point of the upside, kind of indecision here on the longer term. And we have no technical rating, meaning that it's kind of flat. And that's always a good sign because that's a market that is in limbo and has the potential to make a bit of a move. We get the seasonal tendencies pointing to the upside, which I'll show you here in a second. And we're butting up against some resistance. We're kind of in a tight consolidation. So there's support and resistance levels that are nearby. Let's take a look at the market here and we'll just get a feel for what's taken place. One, you can see that the market has been quiet on daily bars here for quite some time, and we're stuck behind or between this support level here and one that is beginning to build. So it's only got a 7 on the resistance, but that's solely because of the fact that it's building. So too is this support line down here of 24. So each day that the market stays in this consolidation zone, the higher these numbers will get. So bottom line is that we're stuck between support and resistance level, and you can see this on the daily bar basis. And if I can pull up here weekly, let me find the weekly here for us. The weekly, look at this. These are weekly bars, and anybody that's ever traded natural gas, you know that there's typically some good movements. You can see through here there was a little bit of a little sideways consolidation, but typically we see a bit of a bounce here, and we've been extraordinarily quiet between the high and the low. That's very strange. And so it usually means that the market is setting up for some type of an explosive move. Now, our systems right now are short the market. I'll show that to you. But they're barely short. There's 2 systems that are actually active, and there's a teeny little open position profit for these 2 systems, but for the most part it just simply means that they've made, they've lost, they've made, they've lost, not necessarily on a closing bar basis, but they're basically doing a lot of nothing. And that's kind of key to where the market has been, both on a daily and weekly bar basis. So something is going to give, hopefully, at least the way that I'm looking at things right now. Hopefully the shorts unwind themselves, and we would actually look for the seasonal tendencies to tell us that the market has a bit of a surge here that has potential. So what we're looking at here is 10-year chart, 10-year charts for the average for in the blue. The black represents the current year. You can see that we're just now coming back into a high correlation phase, so the accuracy is there. That has just begun. You can see that it has been tracking well, just not well enough to be considered accurate. So this is pretty precise for the most part when we're actually in the gray area. But when we look at the potential surge here, there's a nice pop to the market. There'll be some volatility, and then the tail end of, well, basically through June, we should see another explosive move. So if we're able to break through this support, the resistance level, come back to the trades here, both on the weekly, which is pretty far ahead there, but if we look at the dailies, this is the key resistance to the market. This magenta line here that's building, that's at 2.880, so 4 decimals, but that would be the key, that if we can break above that on a closing bar basis, then I would expect that we're going to see a nice pop to the market and follow suit with those seasonal tendencies. For the most part, our systems hopefully would liquidate themselves very, very quickly. But no matter which way the market goes, whether it follows the seasonals or the potential for the shorts, assuming that they stay in place, something is going to happen. And so because of that, we have low energy that's going through. You can see the upper and lower bounds, these yellow lines. Rarely do they get that, and I'm going to use a technical term, scrunched. And that just simply tells you that not only is it in a consolidation. It's been in a tight consolidation, and I've shown that both on the daily bars and the weeklies. So something is going to happen. The seasonal tendencies, the fact that the accuracy is beginning to show some resilience here and really start to show that it's a market we should be looking at. That's why we're looking at it. Nothing has popped up here recently when it comes to the pro alerts, but we do have this one. It's a minor one, but we have a pause indicator, which is right through here, and that tells us when we hit that particular point that the market's going to theoretically pause at that level. That just happens to coincide with a lot of the support resistance levels as well. So there's a lot of pent-up energy here, no pun intended, with the energy of natural gas. But someone's going to light a match, and this thing's going to explode. And I'm not sure exactly which way it's going to head, but my inclination is that it would be closer to the seasonal tendencies than it is to what the systems are doing right now, and the systems hopefully will reverse course if that is in fact the case here. So watch natural gas and prepare for a big move here. Thanks for watching, and we will look at another market tomorrow.